right, welcome to CrossCourt. We got a legend here, Drifter's finest, J4 champ, Leng. What's up,
Underrated.
Leng?
Underrated.
He ain't underrated, man. What's up, Leng?
Underrated.
Thanks for joining
Leng,
us, man.
what's up? How's it going?
What's happening, man? Not much, man.
We're glad you're here, man. You made my list, bro. I mean, my list. I don't know what it means to people, but you're on my list, man.
Hey,
Underrated.
man, I'm just glad to make somebody's list. Put it that way.
Are
For
you
sure.
are you underrated though? Do you feel underrated?
I don't feel anything,
Yeah.
like before, coming on, just chit chatting a little bit. I feel like rated,
Mhm.
underrated, being
Mhm.
on someone's list or something
Mhm.
like that was never the goal. Never
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
goal, at least.
Mhm.
I don't feel underrated, don't feel rated. You
Mhm.
know, hearing people talk about me that way, I'm like,
Mhm.
shit, I don't even,
Mhm.
I can't even say anything about it
Mhm.
because I don't
Mhm.
feel like,
Mhm.
was it really me doing that? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It was
You
like,
were probably just in a moment. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was like, I don't, I don't see myself in that light, put it that way,
Mhm.
as, like talking about players like Thua and them,
Mhm.
I don't see myself in that light in the same way,
Mhm. Well,
because it's
well,
different.
obviously, I think when some of the greats get brought up, I think your name is. It's just a shame that it goes unrecognized and what you've done for the game and how you played the game. You got the three aspects that I like, man. You're versatile, you're agile, and most of all, you're hostile, man. On the court, man, you
I,
were a beast. So,
the hostility, I mean, like, it's funny,
yeah.
through the years, like after we kind of stopped playing, after the crew stopped playing, and I was like the last man standing, right? I still wanted
Mm-hmm.
to play, but everyone kind of moved on to a different
Mm-hmm.
point of their life,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like with me right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one of the youngest of the
Mm-hmm.
crew, right? I mean, Fly and I, we're like in the same age,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Fly and I, and everyone was like probably 5 to 8 years older than us,
Mm-hmm.
So they're moving on, having a family, other interests and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So it was like I still wanted to play,
Mm-hmm.
and the crew was gone, and I didn't feel right. I kind of played a couple of here and there
Well,
with
what,
different guys and
what?
stuff.
Yeah, talk more about that. When you guys came to an end, and you felt like you still have some playing time. How come you didn't hop on to like a team and make it work?
Oh
What's up
man,
with that, man?
see, here's the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, I heard Duhaw's, and it was a great interview, man. He
Mm-hmm.
spoke about the truth about what he experienced and stuff like that. But the difference between me and the difference between what he said and what I'm going to say now
Mm-hmm.
is that I'm all about family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that played with Drifters, we always say once you're with Drifters, you're family, man. It's like
Mm-hmm.
your family for life. We associate not just on a volleyball court. Those are my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
We go attend each other's events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We hang out all the time. I
For
mean, like
life.
literally,
Yeah.
that was my family for
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it didn't feel right
Right.
playing with
Yeah.
somebody else because it wasn't family
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
It wasn't someone that you could basically, count on.
Mm-hmm.
Basically someone that that you have your ups and downs, right?
Mm-hmm.
As
Mm-hmm.
family, as
Yeah.
brothers, but that they always got your back no matter what. And
Yeah.
it just didn't feel like that when I went and played with other guys. Just
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
playing pickup ball at the gym or something like that.
Yeah.
And the fire, the
Mm-hmm.
hostility, like you said, Will, never came out.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
allowed to come out because I was being too nice.
You weren't yourself. You weren't yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I was the thing I was getting at was like those years after we quit, and I still went and played these tournaments with these other guys, other teams. People were kind of like afraid to come up to talk to
Mm.
me and stuff like that. And when they do come and talk to me, and they're kind of like putting me on your list, and I'm like, the wife was like, who's that? And I'm like, I have no idea, but they're talking to me like they know me. So,
I remember my Uncle Gert, he had like this VHS video and he showed it to us. It was like an old school video.
Oh man, why you aging me, man?
He said it was like one of your first tournaments and you were hitting like right side. And you were like barely getting in sets and hitting into the net.
You were sorry, bro.
Yeah, and that was when I was coming up. And when I was coming up, you guys were like one of the better teams, So I was like, dude, that's Leng for real? I was like, what the hell? So coming up, who made the biggest impact on you as a player?
Oh man, like I said, the way I played was all about family, right? So, the team was family, like first cousins, older brothers, and stuff like that. That was the team. That was the squad. So I'll have to say my first cousin B. He was B Sayavang. He was
I remember.
Yeah, he was one of the original running rebels up in Wausau, because he went to Stevens Point for college, and so he played with those guys. That was his crew, And then when he got out of college, he started running with us, And then they started running without me. Put it that way. I was still a kid, I was still a kid. I was like, maybe 7, 8 years old.
Damn, you serious? Holy cow.
Yeah, I didn't play, but they would.
Okay. You
saw. I'll just tag along and be like the water boy, if you want to say, just take it all in. I was the kid underneath the net, by the pole, yelling at them and stuff like that, telling them what's going to happen before it happens. That kid, So, the biggest impact was probably B, and we had some battles. When we go and we say practice, right? Listen to Duhol talk about his practice was nothing like ours.
Speak a little bit more about that. What do you mean by some of your practice, man? What were you guys doing?
I didn't get what we were doing until I started coaching, but once I started coaching, then I got the philosophy of what Duhol and them were practicing and what we were practicing. Because right now, there's two volleyball coaching philosophy when it comes to, USAV or AAU or anything like that, high school, whatever. There's two philosophy, right? There's block practice, and then there's what do they call that? There's block practice, and then they call it there's a term for it, but I don't like using that term. I just call it playing how the game is supposed to be played, right? It's basically block practice is like you practice hitting. That's all you do. Right. You practice like Duhol and them just practice. They want to play quick ball, so they practice quick ball, right? And they just practice that over and over and over. And with me, that is more like the 1%, right? The other 99% is all reactive when it comes to volleyball, right? Volleyball is the only sport where you can't really hold the ball. Right. Only time you hold the ball is when you serve, right? So it's all reactive, right? And how many perfect passes are you gonna get, right? So it's all like you gotta practice. For me, all that garbage stuff, so that when it does happen, it's natural, right?
Right.
So our practice was just basically you're the best on one side of the court, I'm the best on the other side. We play 3-on-3. Who could be who, and that's basically it, right? And when I first started playing and we started practicing, going, because Milwaukee, there was a couple, maybe 2 or 3 different parks that all the Hmong people play at.
Yeah.
And we would park hop, right? And then it got kind of tiring. No one really wanted to play us because it was just like, we'll just basically not really improve, right? So we had to go find our secret, right? Our secret park.
Right. Everybody got their little secret.
And it was like
secret place.
Yeah, and that way we could just run 3-on-3,
right?
4, And we do the basics. You warm up, serving, you warm up, hitting, peppering, and stuff like that. But when it got down to practice, it was like mano y mano, man. See if you can block me. See if I can block you. See if I can take you. That was it. It was just the attitude of our practice.
And I think Chicago ran a lot of the same practices, dude. Because like there wasn't a lot of players in Chicago, so they were like the Chicago players. They'll do like 3-on-3, 2-on-2, a lot of that stuff too. So that's growing up. That's kind of what I saw them do. I remember when I was just a kid, little old kid, and I felt like 12, 13. That's all they did. Like I wanted to play, but they wouldn't even ask me until you earn it. You know what I mean? Then get on the court, man. You got to know how to do something. Like you got to earn it. You know what I mean?
Did you play? Did you play high school in like AAU in high school?
Yeah. That's where it helped really evolve my game, right? Because growing up,
right.
Shit, I'm going to age myself too right now, right? I'm like, I mean, my first J4 was 1990. It was like, I was like 11 and a half, turning 12.
Damn.
Cow. Wait, you played?
Yeah, man. I mean, that year, we actually beat
Who'd
Cal.
you play with?
I played with Survivors. We actually beat Cal that year for third place.
Oh wow!
Wow,
Cal,
really?
Yeah, Cal was playing with Jofa or somebody like that. He I think it was like he wasn't playing with Airborne yet or playing with anybody else yet. I think he just had a pickup team and they just asked him to play Jofa or somebody.
Okay.
For J4 that year, and I didn't really play much. I don't remember that tournament much because, like I said, I was 11, 12, man.
Right.
I was going with my oldest brother with B in them. They're like 20 something, I'm a little kid staying at a hotel with them first time, shit like that. So, it was it was different for me, And,
man, dude, we're talking about 11-year-olds. Look at the 11-year-olds now, man. They're on like freaking YouTube doing all this kind of stuff.
Fortnite, bro. They killing you with Fortnite.
I mean,
putting in the work already, dude.
I mean, volleyball was my Fortnite, man. I'm telling you, I mean, I think I was 12. Go to that J4.
So you mentioned all the player, or you mentioned the team Survivor, man. Who was all on that team, man? Give a shout out to all your teammates.
Survivors, man. I mean, like that was, I guess you want to say, my original team. You want to say that's where I actually started playing in tournaments with, and it was just basically brothers. It was basically cousins. Like our first cousin, second cousins, and us. So that's how it was back then.
Came from a rich volleyball family. Then everyone played in your family, basically.
Basically, pretty much, my first experience with volleyball at the park or something like that was with my dad. Took me, my brother, my little brother, me, my little brother, and my older brother, Mang, out to the park. And we would just, we're outside park playing. Yeah. But they were actually playing volleyball,
Right. Yeah. And you know what? A lot of the things that maybe kids or people coming up don't understand the amount of work it takes to be even good, because volleyball is a hard sport, man. I mean, I played it. It's hard.
I tell you, man. Anything's hard. Right. Anything, if you want to be good at it, is going to be hard. I mean, like I'm into numbers, analytics or whatever they want to call that bull crap. It only goes so far, but it's the people that read the analytics that could make it not the truth. You know what I mean? But the scientific study is saying that you need 10,000 hours just to be good at something.
Right.
That's a long time. 10,000 hours just to be average. So if you want to be great, you got to put in the work. You can't just say, "Oh, I think I'm great." How do you know you're great? How do you know you're better than average?
So what motivated you, man? Like from the video that I saw, you were trash as hell.
I know, right?
And just like from what you're saying, you started so young at 11, man. That's like young, bro.
I tell you the truth. The thing was that volleyball wasn't my thing. I was more into basketball, more into football,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
You know, I was more into wanting to be the next Joe Montana or something like that, Jerry Rice, you know, Thurman Thomas, running back or something. You know, like those are old school. Most kids these days don't know about those players. You know,
Google it. Google it.
yeah, Google it. But yeah, I mean, Roger Craig, I was a big 49ers fan back then. John Elway and all them. You know, Buffalo Bills going to 4 Super Bowls and losing. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I was a Bills fan. I was hoping they win one. So I was big
Yeah.
into football, big into basketball. Um, but then, you know, there was a little home tournament at a middle school one weekend, and I was there for open gym for basketball. You know, I run with the Laos guys for basketball and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm only like 10, 11. It was right by the house too. So,
Yeah.
you know, the older brother survivors, basically, they're playing that tournament, right? And my buddy Angel, they're playing against Angel's
Oh,
team,
Angel.
right? You know
Yeah.
Angel?
Yeah. He was a
Yeah,
badass.
Angel's one of the original drifters, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I know Angel because of basketball. Angel was big in basketball just like me. So Angel ran basketball with me a couple of times. So he was like, Leng, man, I only got 4. I need a 5th just to play. And I was like, who you playing against? I'll just come do some stuff, right? I'm not that good, but I'll do whatever you want. He's like, oh man, we're playing against your brother. Your brother. And I'm like, for real, I'm down, man. I'm down for that. So, you know, that tournament, even though Angel and us lost, but I was roofing the shit out of him, you know, roofing the shit out of my brother Mang, roofing the shit out of B, roofing the shit out of my cousin Pao. And then after that, you know, B, Mang, Pao, my oldest brother Tom, they're like, you playing volleyball with us.
It take
And that's basically it, you know? And that's basically go to the park every day, go play and stuff like that. Didn't get my basketball time in anymore. And that's how it started, man.
See, hey man, you guys just learned something. That's how Leng got started. He accidentally got into volleyball.
Man.
Well, yeah,
It wasn't even his thing.
I would have been in NFL, right? I mean, like, what?
Yeah. No, that's like my son. Like my son too. He's really into basketball, and basketball's my first love too. And like I said, it translates one way. You know, like if you're into basketball and volleyball, or basketball and football, it translates if you go play volleyball. But it does not translate if you're like a volleyball player and if you want to go play like basketball or football. You know what I mean? Because that physicalness is gonna hit you real hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
But it's interesting that you have the same.
Yeah, I tell you, but it's the bottom line that all volleyball players they want to be basketball players.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. Even the Migas that I play with and I coach and stuff like that.
Y'all got hoop dreams, yeah.
Oh, want to play basketball.
Yeah,
bro. I'm like, dude,
that's how.
man.
Exactly. That's how Peng and all of us. We're hoopers. We just play hoop first, and we just kind of fell into volleyball because everyone was doing it. And we knew we couldn't play basketball at that level, so we was like, okay, we'll just turn to volleyball.
I just didn't want to be like my brothers. I was a rebel back then, man. I was like, man, y'all can play volleyball, man. I'm gonna play a different sport, man.
How was that growing up with, you know, like a volleyball fan like that? Was there like when they took you in, were they hard on you, or did they let you just find your own way, or what?
They let me struggle, man. They let me find my own way, really. I mean, they let me. That's what family, man. I mean, that's the beauty of family, right? It was like they didn't care. I didn't care if they yelled at me. They didn't care if I yelled back at them.
Right.
They just knew that I could do better. That I want them to do better, right? And my expectation for them is super high. Their expectation for me is super high. So we got to live up to each other's standards, and that's why. Again, going back, I couldn't really continue playing without them. You know what I mean? It was like we didn't have that each other to push anymore.
So I want to talk a little bit about your game. And I don't know if you saw the video. I was mentioning you how you
underrated.
Your game is obviously in my book you're underrated, but your game. You're like an all-around player, dude. Like I think I mentioned that you're like kind of like a Swiss Army knife, where okay, where you need me at, you'll do it. And I kind of mentioned like you're not eye popping, where it's like whoa, but when I see you play, everything you do is like top notch. Like it's just on point, and like your all around game, man. It's just like no one could touch that. Where did you develop that from, and how did you develop that all around game? Because I see some of the players where they're only good at one thing, but how did you develop that?
Getting bitched at every day.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It was just
Would you agree with my analysis?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know how I kind of related to football, right? You know, Jerry Rice is just a wide receiver, right? Anybody can run and catch. But Jerry Rice wanted to be the best football player. You know, and most people, when they talk about being the best in terms of football, they're talking a quarterback, right? They're talking a quarterback. They're not really talking about a receiver, but Jerry Rice is one of the best football players of all time, not just a wide receiver, you know.
He could block, run after the catch,
I mean,
do it all.
The mentality is, for me, was I just wanted to be the best, whatever it took, you know, whatever it took to make the team better. If the team needs me to do something, I'm going to do it. And if I am not going to do it to the best, then why do it, right?
Right.
It's like if they need me to be the libero, even though there was no libero back then, I would have been the libero. It didn't matter. You know, to me, I mean, if they just needed me to play defense, you know, that's, I don't know. Not a lot of people, I think when people look at drifters, right? I guess the modern drifters with us and stuff, not the early drifters or whatever, they look at us and I guess they don't see the intricacies that we do on the court, you know, like we would be like, oh man, you suck at passing right now in service. You get your ass to the corner or something like that. We would tell each other that you suck right now, move, I'll pass the ball for you. You know, or it was like, man, you suck at blocking right now. I'll go up against their best hitter right now. I mean, like, I don't think a lot of
you guys have that type of relationship.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You know, it was the spur of the moment that you could just tell your teammate that, no, I got your back, man, because right now you ain't doing it. I'll go and take care of that guy. I think that was like the motivation, I guess, that you needed to be the all-around player.
It seems like it was more of the team first. Like if I suck, and if you're doing it better, you see, it seemed like you guys didn't mind. Like your ego was not hurt.
Yeah, for us, it's always about the team. No one's bigger than the team, man. Not even me. Even with my attitude and stuff like that. Even with Chong's attitude, you know, everybody's attitude, Meng's attitude. It doesn't matter because, you know, that's family. That's what we do. You can yell at each other. It'll be okay.
So how did you guys? Because my very first memory of you guys is, you know, and you know, is with you, Sha, your brother Meng, JT, and all you guys. So how did you guys form?
Oh, the modern day drifters, right? The one that everyone knows about.
When you guys are on your run, man. When you guys are reigning.
Oh man, that was a good run, man. I mean, what we had from probably like 96 to probably 2001, maybe 2002. It was a pretty good run.
It was some of the best volleyball that I've seen, man. That's why I became a big fan during that era.
How'd you guys form? Were you guys just like all friends, or were you guys?
Yeah, man. It was like with Sha, you know, Sha and Meng got really, really close. They became like best buds in junior year and senior year in high school.
Okay.
I idolized Sha a little bit because he had the perfect spiking form.
Sha's a badass,
you know. Sha had the perfect. He was like the, you know, the logo for AVP, right? He was like that silhouette. He has that form, right? And I was like, man, this guy's good. And like I said, I'm a kid, right? And I'm playing with these guys, you know. So Meng and Sha formed a pretty good bond. And then when Sha graduated high school, went to Whitewater. And then that's when started hanging out with us more. You know, we started hanging out with him more. Like Maine, I think the year between senior year and college, my brother Meg went with stayed with Shy and Manitowoc the whole summer.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Just
know,
playing.
so
Wait, how far are you and Meng apart?
almost 3 years, I think.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, like Meg went up there and stayed with him, and you know, we always say Shaw's the one that gets us all in trouble, right? So we don't look like it. He's the one that gives us the bad ideas. But yeah, I mean, that's how we got Shaw into the
Mhm.
family or into the
Okay.
fold, right? And then Shaw was playing with survivors at
Okay.
first, right? So that's how Shaw came in.
Okay.
And then with JT, um, we're playing at a tournament in Milwaukee. If
Mhm.
you know, it's probably before you guys' time. Polonia, down by Highway 100 and Ryan Road down there. It
Oh,
was like
okay.
a soccer complex,
Yeah, I remember those.
and JT was playing with Charlie, with
Okay.
Spirits at the time,
Mhm.
right? So I know JT because I was in Madison. I just
Mhm.
moved to Madison. You know, I was living in Madison, working, going to school, and I'll go to the park and we'll play. So that's how I know JT through
Mhm.
volleyball and stuff. So
Okay.
JT was like, "Hey, you see Charlie or you see Spirits, my team, Bulan, and
Mhm.
all of them?" And I was like, "Nah, man, but you know what? We could use you. You don't have a team,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We
Okay.
could use you this tournament if you want to play. Hop on."
Uh-huh.
So JT hopped on, and then ever since that, he became my brother. I mean, like JT basically lived with me
Mhm.
for I don't know how long, probably 7 years. I mean, living with me, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how he became my brother and stuff like that. And then same thing with Buddha, you know, once Outlaws kind of disintegrated, broke up a
Mhm.
little bit, Buddha
Mhm.
was looking for a team as well. And we're like, you know what, Buddha and I go way back, elementary school, you know, he's
Mhm.
like my brother already, you know. So it's
Mhm.
like just hop on in, you
Mhm.
know. So that's how the modern day
Yeah.
drifters became. And you know, strong in my story, so I don't have to explain that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
That was so that was I was mentioning or I'm thinking, man, that was some of the best volleyball I seen. Like just I think you guys made it look so easy. And we were talking to Duhua and he talked about doing the basics and the fundamentals right. What do you have to say about that? Is that what you guys did? Because obviously what I seen, that's basically what you guys did. You guys just did all the basics like awesome.
I tell you,
Mm-hmm.
that was not basic to us, man. We just off the cuff, man. We just trusted each other. Really, it
Okay.
was just like, yeah, man, Shaw, man. We know that Shaw's gonna get every dig, so
Mm-hmm.
we're just going to let him do his thing in the back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we're just like, all right, whatever you do, we're gonna do the next step. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was just the brotherly trust, really, that happened. But we knew each other had skills already, right? It was like
Mm-hmm.
the basic was kind of the foundation was kind of there already. It was just
Mm-hmm.
like we just needed to work on the chemistry, the
Mm-hmm.
trust. All right, if you're having an off day or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, we're just gonna come and totally dominate, even though
Mm-hmm.
you suck right now. You
Yeah,
know, it was that
Mm-hmm.
mindset. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
that attitude. But yeah, I mean, fundamentally, when the modern day or the drifters that everyone knows,
Mm-hmm.
I think our basics was kind of there already,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just had to maximize it, you
Mm-hmm.
know, bring it out of each other, because
Mm-hmm.
we just knew that we could play at a different level
Mm-hmm.
when everyone's playing at that level, you know,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just messing around. Because you know what, one of the things that really gets us going is
Mm-hmm.
not the other team, it's each other. When we like, oh man, we should walk this team, right? But then we
Mm-hmm.
struggle because one of the guys are taking it too easy, and then everyone gets mad at each other,
yeah,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone, because we expect each other to just be here,
Mm-hmm.
but then when you're not there, when you're down here,
Right.
it's like, man, you're gonna hear it not just from me, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
hear it from everybody. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
like down here, they're yelling at me too. So
Yeah.
because you know that's why I try not to get back to your point, Will, of being a Swiss Army knife. That's why I try not to be like down here in whatever position they put. You know, like for me, it's funny, right? Paying brought up playing high school, right? I was a setter in high school, and I was setting for my brother Mang, the outside hitter in high school. But then we go play Hmong tournaments. Mang's setting me, and I'm the hitter, and Mang's the setter. So that's how the all-around game comes into play, right? Because like we kind of, like I said, the foundation was kind of there already when you play. That you could move around like that, and
so I remember this one tournament when we were coming up. It was in Whitewater. I remember it because it was like very heartbreaking, and I nearly cried because we played against you. I want to say we played against. I know Fly was there. I want to say maybe you were setting, and I remember. I want to say it was you. I want to say you were there, but I remember knowing. I remember wanting to play you guys because I knew that was a hump that we had to get over. You know. But we lost to you guys, and then I remember losing to you guys, and then I stayed behind and watched you guys play NWO. And after you guys lost to NWO, I talked to Xiong, and he was like, "Man, you know that was it. And that was so easy. I thought it was gonna be better than that. You know, like." And because he was saying, you know, how we struggled against you guys, you know, and that I took it so hard, you know what I mean? Talk about getting over the hump, right? For drifters, because I know you guys had to go through a lot of good teams.
Oh man,
you know, the Wiseman, the Airborns,
yeah,
and talk about how when you guys were at the tail end, how you guys kind of gotten that taken away from you, because you were basically on both ends, right? You took the mantle away and then gotten taken away from you. And can you talk about both those situations?
That's when retirement calling, man. Like,
damn. I tell you, let me start it with the teams, you know, back then. I mean,
a lot of good teams back then.
Shit, you got like even from the Appleton, Green Bay, Fox Valley area, there's some good teams like No Mercy, Mount High, and all of them. I mean, like just in just Wisconsin alone, you look at the teams back then, and you're just like, damn, man. Every tournament you go to, you got to play these guys. I'm like, oh man, you know. But once we knew that we could compete against them, not win, you know, knowing that, you know, going to a tournament, competing against them, it was all right, now we need to go to the next level, right? Now we need to hit the, like, for me and my brothers and my cousins and stuff like that, our thing before the modern day drifters, you know, when I was still a kid, I guess you want to say.
Yeah.
We had to go work out. I mean, like we had to hit the gym. My brother Mang would run by the lakefront every morning before school on the sand. You know, that was his training, running the hills. Me, I would just lift. I'll be in the gym lifting. You know, I was never the most like Payne said that first video. Payne was like, man, this guy sucks. I did. I did, because I was not the most athletic kid, you know. So I had to go into the gym, do training really nonstop, 10,000 hours, if you want to call it, Will, like I said, just to be somewhat athletic so I could get over the hump. But back to Payne's question about teams that need to get over a hump. I mean, like the Minnesota teams. You know, you look at the Minnesota teams, you know, back then it was like, you know, MDY, like Duhua said, they were kind of getting established already. Airborne was getting established. You know, not the modern day Airborne, not the original Airborne. The modern day Airborne that everyone knows now. They're getting established with Cal and all of them. So I think the hump was the Minnesota teams. Name any one of them. Once we beat them once, it was like, oh man, we gotta do this every time. And that was the mindset now. And then
how was that? How did you guys beat them? Like, did you guys just mature and you guys were just better as age came, or did you guys have a different strategy, or what?
I wouldn't say different strategy. Like you said, we don't practice that way, right? We just practice the 99, the reactions, the out of system plays, if you want to call it, because that's how most volleyball is played, right? Even in the professional level, even at the national level, is
complete chaos.
out of system, man. It's out of system.
You were just
you
more
get
comfortable.
in system. You get in system maybe 5% of the whole entire match. So
you know that's a. I just want to say something real quick. That's an interesting way to look at it. I never looked at volleyball that way, where it's never as you planned. It's always like reactionary and everything's all over the place, and you have to make the best of your situation. It seems like I never looked at it that way. That's a good perspective.
I think the way we got over the hump was we just got more athletic. We just put in the work, got more training in.
Yeah.
Because it was like we knew we had the skills because the way we play, it was all the 95% reaction stuff, right? And then when we do get that 5% or 1% perfect play, we don't know what to do with it because we don't practice it. It's like, what do you do with this? But yeah, I think we just got put in the work, got down to hard work and more training, more physical. Didn't feel like we were outgunned anymore. It was like we had our guns and our bullets. Now we can shoot it. Before we just had bullets. Where's the gun?
And I saw. I think you posted on YouTube when you guys made your title run. Wait, let me get this right. How many titles did you guys win? Talking about the J4.
We only won one, 1997.
Damn, that's what Peng said. I said, man, I swear to God.
No, because a lot of people think we won more because
you guys placed a lot.
After that, I think all the way up until like 2097 to like 2001 or 2002, we're in top 4.
Man, I thought you guys won like at least 2 or 3 because. But anyways, I was saying that the video that I think you posted it up when you guys won against Airborne, man, like just me looking at that video, dude, it was 2 different like tiers, dude. Like I think you guys, when the way you guys played there, it was just like you guys were up here and then Airborne was, in my opinion, they were down here, man. It was just like, man, you already know who's gonna win. That's what it looked like. I don't know if you edit the video for it to be that way. But...
No, it wasn't. That's how it played out. But
yeah, that's how it looked like. It was just like, man, they cannot do any wrong. Talk about that title run, man. Like you guys had so much momentum. On the video, it looked like you guys couldn't be stopped, dude.
That's how it played out. It was back then. It was like it wasn't like it is now. Where you get double elimination per court in the bracket, right? Back then, it was the whole tournament was double elimination. Every team was in the same bracket, right?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Airborne was sent down to the losers bracket on day 1 by MDY that year. So they had to play against all the teams that we beat to come play us.
Okay.
So all those teams, they had to get out of the losers bracket because we went undefeated that year,
Yeah.
So they were tired. They were super tired. I mean, I was tired. I mean, like I've never cramped like that where my both hamstrings and both quads cramped at the same time in the finals. I mean, like my brother Meg was like, I'm cramping in game 2, right? So we called timeout. I'm like laying on the ground. And he was like, where are you cramping? I was like, my hamstrings. He like lifted my legs up, right? And then my quad starts cramping. And I'm like, no, put it back down.
Now my hammies.
It was like, how am I supposed to do anything, right? So,
wait, how long was the rest in between? I know when it comes to the playoff, it's just like back to back to back to back. How long do you guys get to rest in between?
Back then, there was no rest.
It was just
back then when they hit the playoffs, man, it was. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You're just going.
Man.
Yeah, I
That's-
mean, so yeah, it did look like the video because it was like the video. They were tired.
Yeah.
Hell was tired. The only one that was really doing damage against us was Ying.
Yeah.
Ying was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
But like Kel was tired,
Mhm.
Rob was tired,
Mhm.
Hong was tired. I mean, all those guys was tired. But it seemed
Yeah.
like Ying must have popped some energy drinks or energy pills or something,
Yeah,
and we couldn't stop him.
Yang was killing you guys in that
Yeah.
that series right there, man.
Yeah, we couldn't stop him. We tried
Yeah.
to triple block him, and we still couldn't block him.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he was on, but everybody else was so tired over there. It was like, what the hell? Why is
And then
Ying at all of them?
and then during that finals right there, man, you're blocked, dude. You're blocking. Man, I can't say, man, what happened, man? Did something just take over you, or what's going on, man? You were just blocking everything, dude. Like, what happened there, man? Take us through that.
You know,
You
like,
know, you know how hitters get hot and everything they do is just like kill, kill, kill. Like, did you feel like that while you were blocking? Like, I'm fucking hot right now.
it's timing.
Mhm.
Everything is when it comes to hitting and blocking or even setting, even passing, it's all
Mhm.
timing, right?
Mhm.
And I tell this to the players I coach too. You know, when you want to be a good blocker,
Mhm.
you got to go and take an approach, look at the
Mhm.
set, and
Mhm.
say, you know what? How am I going to hit this ball?
Mhm.
Instead of going up to hit it,
Mhm.
you actually go up there and block it. You know, you
Mhm.
take you just go and like, oh,
Yeah.
a one-step approach and jump up and hit it. Yeah,
Right.
I'll just take a one-step approach and jump up and block it. So it's just like
Mm.
timing the set. You know,
Okay.
once you get the timing of the other setter as a
Mhm.
blocker,
Yeah.
you know, instead
Mhm.
of hitting
I
that
know.
set as a hitter, you just block it.
Go get it. I
Yeah.
know we talked to several players and they mentioned like if the set is up there, it's like I'm gonna go and grab that set before the hitters hit it. Kind of mentality where the set is up there, that ball is mine. I'm gonna go grab. Kind of like a rebound. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
kind
kind of like that.
of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. I mean, like, but a lot of players,
Mm-hmm.
they just
Just jump.
court, right? You
Yeah.
jumping to block court instead of
Yeah.
jumping to block. You know,
Mm.
like a lot of players just jump to block a court, block this
Mm.
side of the court.
Mm.
I'm not. I don't care about the court. I care about blocking this ball. You
Mhm.
know.
Can you
Yeah.
talk about just having that mantle taken away from you? Like you
Oh
guys,
yeah.
yeah, I feel like you guys kind of gracefully bowed out, you
Mm.
know, because most things would, you know, grab a person here and there, or you know what I mean.
Mhm.
You guys
Uh,
kind of gracefully just said, okay,
Everybody
you know,
done.
yeah,
but
you guys beat us, you guys
Mhm.
deserve it.
yeah,
Talk about that. Like how was it, you know, transitioning into that?
the the writing was on a wall
Mm.
because, like I said, the guys are older than me. You
Mhm.
know, they're transitioning away already into
Mhm.
other interests,
Mhm.
into you know, other stuff. You know, like starting a
Yeah.
family,
Mhm.
stuff like that. So the writing was on the wall. You know, it was like we weren't training as hard anymore.
Mhm.
Um, we weren't practicing. We were
Mm.
just like showing up.
Right.
You know, the chemistry wasn't there anymore. I mean, the brotherhood was still there. We're still
Mhm.
yelling.
Yeah.
We're still expecting each other to play at each other's standard or
Mm.
expectations.
Mhm.
But physically, like I said, how we got over the hump wasn't
Mhm.
there anymore.
Mhm.
You know, we were coming with guns with no bullets now. You know,
Right.
before we were coming with bullets and had no
Mhm.
gun.
Mhm.
Now we're out of bullets,
Mhm.
but we still have the gun. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was on the wall. I mean, like
Yeah.
I saw like
when
towards the ending there, you guys try to restock on talent, right? Try to get people to come in,
no,
but it didn't.
I
What's
mean,
up with?
like the last J4 for us,
Mhm.
we didn't make it to the second day, and that was it. That was the final
It didn't
straw,
live up to
right?
the drifter standards, man.
Yeah, that was the final straw, and we just said
Mhm.
that that's it. There's no
Yeah.
more drifters after that.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it was like, and you know that year we always wanted to play with top,
Mm.
right? So we were like,
Mhm.
you know what? talk come up, play with you, even though we knew deep down that this was it because we didn't train at all. I mean, like literally, we went 2 weekends before J4 to the park, right?
Okay.
Do it, right?
Damn.
And that's the result of it. And we're like, you know what? Everyone's their life is at a different time now.
Right.
They're moving on. So we just said, you know what? We're not going to talent hop, if you want to say. We're not going into, because like I said, it's more of a family. It's like if these young cats can't take criticism from of their brother, then how are they going to take criticism from us?
Right.
When they're mentally soft, when their dad yells at them, or when their mom or the brother or sibling yells at them, how are supposedly just associates and friends going to yell at them the same way or hold them to the same standards that their parents do? So it was like we weren't going talent shop or grab players here and there. We're just like, you know what, we can move on to other stuff, even though I personally did not want to do it.
So what was that discussion that you guys were done? Did that happen before J4 or did it happen afterward when you guys had time to reflect on it? Tell us about that.
I don't think there was any discussion. I'm for real. I mean, that's just how brothers are. You don't need to say it, I mean,
you just knew.
Like, everyone just kind of knew. Everyone knew that, different stage of each other's lives, and we're not at the same point anymore. Our timeline isn't matching anymore, so there was no discussion. It was just, it was just like everyone just said,
so we're Chicago kids, and we know, and we looked up to Chong, Gomeng, and all those guys, and they were always, like, you know what I mean? Game planning against you guys, even at the park and whatnot. Can you talk about that rivalry with them a little bit?
Did you feel like there was a rivalry, man? I mean,
there's gotta be, man. Come on, man.
Rivalry, but
obviously, you guys were the top two teams during that time. So
I mean, there's a rivalry, but it was I mean, like, it's kind of shocking to hear that they were game planning against us, though. I mean, like, we don't game plan against nobody, it was just like we just kind of game plan to be better at what we do, and that was it, right? But let me tell you some stories about those battles, man.
Let's do it.
I mean, one that sticks out big time was we're playing in Madison at a Madison tournament, right? And Gomez's dad, Lewis's dad, really, really big supporter of them, right? Playing volleyball. Unlike our parents, my parents. I mean, like, you better go to school. You better be a doctor. You better be an engineer.
Doctor, lawyer.
Wasting your time playing this volleyball bull crap, right? But Gomez's dad, man, I love him, man. I mean, like, supported him so much and stuff like that. Awesome. Gomez and Lewis's dad and stuff like that. But we're playing them in Madison, and Chong and I like to go at it, if you want to call it. Talk a little stuff on the side, in the court, whatever. Even though, before the game, Chong and I were just drinking a beer, but but got into the game, and it was heated. There was a lot of trash talking going back and forth. Even though, we
what was being said, man? You remember?
What?
What was being said?
I can't say it here, or you guys won't be able to publish this, man. And you know how Chong and I could get. That's all I gotta say, right? Okay. And it was loud, right? It was loud that fans, the people on the side, Gomez's dad, Lewis's dad, they could all hear it, right? And it was getting personal, Chong and I were getting personal about it too. So and then it was just me and Chong, Gomez could go at it. My brother Maine could go at it a little bit. And then everyone just followed suit. Everyone just followed what Chong and I were doing. The whole team. It was no longer just one or two people talking trash. I mean, like, the whole team was talking trash to each other. And even Lewis was saying stuff to me across the net. I was like, dang, Lewis, what the hell? But I mean, Gomez's dad literally had the ref stop the game because he thought we were going to fight. So Gomeng's dad had the ref stop the game and like literally stop the game. And we had to like go huddle on our side of the court and then kind of shake hands before Gomeng's dad would let the ref start the game again.
Yeah.
That's how the rivalry was, right?
Wow. That's a good story right there, man. Holy crap, man.
So yeah, I mean, like Chong and I were like, yeah, after this match, we'll have some more beer, right? Right here. You know?
Dude, that's an all-time great story right there, man. See, a lot of people didn't know that, man. Holy cow, man. I never seen anything like that before, man.
I haven't either, or after.
I've seen your battles, and it felt like you guys were always like kind of antagonizing Chong, but like
that was Leng, man. Leng's always doing that.
But it seemed like you guys were making them focus on you, but like in the background, you know, Shah and Meng, those guys were just like cutting them up while they were focusing on you. Would you say that that's accurate, or?
Pretty much, you know, when you could talk about us and the rivalries with Chong and Chicago and Gomeng, Lewis, Visa, and all that, we kind of knew that if we got Chong hot, you know, we get him hot, man, he's going to chew his team a new one, right?
He won't just turn against you guys. He turn against his own team.
Yeah, exactly, right? Chew them a new one. So it was like, yeah, we you know, on our side of the net, yeah, we chew each other a new one, but we can handle it, right? But those guys over there, and Chong turns on them, it is done, easy, cakewalk, right? So they're always like, Leng, go, start it, Leng, and I was like, all right, let's go.
Wait, seriously, you guys would say that? Holy cow, man.
Pretty much, man. I mean, for the rivalry, it was like, get Chong going. You know, once Chong is not hot against us anymore, he's hot against his team. Yeah. It's pretty much a wrap, you know.
So, you know, much respect to Chicago, man. You know, Chong, he's an all-time great, man.
Yeah,
he's
I mean, those are my
force.
Those are my brothers down there too, man. I mean, like rivalries, whatever you want to call it, it's family to us down there, you know. Those are our family down there as well.
Yeah, it seems like at a point where Drifters in Chicago had a little upper hand on you guys when you guys were going through your little run. And then afterwards, you guys kind of mastered the Chicago team, and it was like they couldn't take you guys over anymore. And that was a wrap after that.
Yeah, I mean,
because I think they were your. Yeah, they were like your only rivals, or like
Master Chong. Master get to Chong.
Yeah, once we mastered Chong, it was done. It was that. It was all right. All right, so again, you know, when it came to like physicality and training, and it was like, damn, man, those cats down there, man, they're pretty physical. They're pretty athletic, right? Yeah. They got some skills to back it up too. All right, so what do we need to do to overcome that? Okay, and then we figure out, damn, man, they're not mentally tough like us. When we bitch and yell at each other, we're okay, but when they bitch and yell at each other, they get worse. You know, so let's go. Let's get them going. Man. You know, because physically, skill wise, it was a pretty much even match.
Yeah, I think you guys matched up pretty evenly. I think you guys did match up pretty evenly
because even when they got Knock, man, Knock was a beast back then too. You know,
beast, dude.
Yeah. But if you get Chong bitching at him, then it's a different story.
It was done. Knock would cry. Knock would just run. Don't come at him like that. It was over, man. Sorry, Chong, man. Sorry, brother, but that's just how we thought.
Yeah. So once that kind of happened, when you guys kind of mastered Chicago, then you guys went into NWO, right? When you guys started building that rivalry, right?
Yeah,
and then
I mean,
you guys were whooping them at first, and eventually the tables turned.
Yeah, right? I mean, again, it was like, you know how Pang asked me how we got over the hump. I think once NWO started maturing, getting more training and putting in the work, they got to our level. They kind of caught up with us, right? And they played a different style that we don't practice, right? We don't play against that style a lot. Scrappiness, stuff like that. We like I said, try to overpower a lot of teams, right? And when we play against teams that are scrappy, that don't care how they play, they again that 95% reaction, they just don't care. The ball's never going to die. We're just going to dink and dump you guys to death. We struggle against that, and they have one. They had Sean Oven come in during that time. Sean's not that much younger than me. Not like you, Will, or Payne is much younger than me anyway. Right. But yeah, I mean, they played a different game, and it was their game. It wasn't like a game that a lot of teams played, so it was hard to play against them. For not just us, for anybody. I watched them. I'm a fan of them. I'm a fan of how they play. Bill, Sean, Six, all of them.
But can you talk about even with that style that they had, they didn't have much success in J4, but you guys always had. Because they would beat you guys, but you guys would always have more success. Even when Sean went to play with Traders, Sean and James, they still lost to you guys. So what can you speak on like the difference between playing? Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, is that what it is?
I mean, pressure when you're so used to going to J4, and our expectations of J4 is, man, we better be in the semis every time. First day, first serve. That's our mindset, right? So when you go there and you do that, it's kind of like a second home, right? It's kind of like it's comfortable. We just do what we do. We know we're gonna be in the semis. When you are, I guess I wouldn't say afraid or too scared or don't think you're good enough to go up there, even though you are not going to make the playoffs or anything like that. I mean, like I started in '90 and I was lucky enough to make the semis and get third place my first time going there. And that's the bug that hooked me, right? And then there are some years that we make the quarterfinals, that's it, and I'll be mad.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'll be pissed. I mean, like, I've been in the second day in the playoffs, but I'll be pissed because I want to be in the semis, having a chance to win. Making the playoffs for me is not good enough, I guess you want to say, up there. Because that's where you make, that's where you want to win. That's where you make the win, right?
Right.
So with NWO, I think that when they were starting coming up, I thought they were good enough to go. Good enough to go to J4 and play. Might not be good enough to win. Might not be good enough to make it to semis or whatever. But once you get that experience, you just keep going, and then it feels comfortable. But when they already, like I said, beating us in Wisconsin, and then when they go up there, it's a different atmosphere, right? It's a different game.
Right.
So that's why, when they lose to a California team or something like that, we've seen California teams there. We know what to expect from them. They probably never seen it, so they didn't play their game. They didn't play their scrappiness.
To me, like the biggest gauge, right? Like, is like if you dominate in Wisconsin, then I feel like your team is ready to go and play J4 and at least place, right? So that year that we lost to you guys for third, I felt like that year, NWO was gonna win.
They should have won. They were dominating us.
Yeah, but they didn't even. I don't know if they even made it to playoffs.
Yeah, they didn't even make it out of their bracket, I believe.
Yeah.
But
what do you chalk it up to? Like what's the with the so difference? Like I know you guys have experience, but is it essentially your style of play that translates better, or I don't know. Would you know? Experience.
Talk it up to experience. I mean, like I said, like they should have. For me, I felt like even when they're just up and coming, they should have just went up there.
Yeah.
Just go up there.
Okay. Yeah.
Win or lose,
get the
You
more
need to
get
experience
experience.
it.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like I said, that atmosphere is
Mhm.
nothing else.
It's
Nothing's gonna,
different. Yeah, it's
nothing's
different. I
gonna
feel
create
like
that atmosphere,
yeah.
man. I mean, like, and you get to experience
Mhm.
different style, different players, different technique, you know, up
Mhm.
there. That if you're just stuck doing the same thing and never progressing, then when you do see something different, you don't
Mm.
know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
I hear, man. That's a good point, man. Just, I guess, just going up there and seeing how it's like, and then measuring yourself, coming back and training and getting
Yeah.
better.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you speak on pressure, but I remember that year that we made our Cinderella run, I felt like we played with no pressure at all because we were like
Mm.
trash. You know what I mean?
That's why
And
the
that's
Ultra went
why.
up there.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
they would have no
Yeah.
pressure to
Yeah.
win, right?
Mhm.
So what would you say is your most memorable win in Hmong volleyball?
Mhm.
Oh man, it has to be the J4. I mean, it
J4?
has
Your
to be
finals.
J7.
Yeah.
I mean, I was still a kid at that time, man. I mean, Hell and those guys were established already. You know, everyone hating on us in the finals. Literally,
Yeah,
the
it was a
whole
Minnesota crowd, man. It was a Minnesota crowd.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally, we had 10 people, just our wives, cheering for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I mean, like
Mhm.
it was surreal when the match point
Mhm.
happened, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
It was like we had that tournament. If you didn't know, you know, Shaw's my older brother, right? You know, like I said, family's family. We get on each other to we expect the best,
Mm.
right? And
Mm.
that Sunday we're playing against Rock. You know, Rock kind of broke away from
Mm.
Airborne that year, so Min
Mhm.
and those guys played their own team, and then Cal, Buddha, Fong, Ying, Rob, those guys play Airborne, right?
Mm.
So the first day, first match on the second day, Shaw and I got at it, you know, and Shaw wasn't playing at the level that I thought Shaw needed to play at for us to win.
Mm.
So Shaw and I were going at it, arguing, and I made Shaw walk off the court. Like literally walk off the court, went to the tank, grabbed his stuff, grabbed his gear,
Mm.
was walking. This was third
Ready to
game.
go home?
Third game, first match on Sunday, third game, ready to go home. He was already walking up the hill, you know, at Como.
The hell did you say, man? God damn.
Oh, I can't say it here, man.
Cho tỏ moppy.
I can't say it here.
Damn. Okay.
You know, and then we pulled it off somehow real quick to
Mm.
beat Rock and Min and them. And then I grabbed my shit, ran up the freaking hill real fast, go find them. And you know, there's so many people, so I'm like, shit, how am I supposed to find them?
Right. That was before cell phone too.
Yeah, it was, man. I mean, it was. And
Right.
through the grace of the good Lord, I
Yeah.
see him and his wife Joy walking down like almost out the gate. And I'm like, nah, brother, man. It's all or nothing, man. We're all about family, man. It's all or nothing. You leave, that means that we all have to leave and forfeit this whole entire tournament. So Shao was like, all right, man, we're not going to forfeit this tournament. We're going to win it. Shao told me we're going to win it. And then I was like, all right, man, let's go win it.
Wow.
Damn.
Wait, that was the year you guys won?
Yeah, that was the year.
Oh,
But
damn.
you guys were that close to just fucking.
Nobody knew that
Nobody
drama,
knew.
man.
Seriously, bro.
That's what we're here for, man. It's the untold stories,
Yeah.
dude. Man.
Luckily,
that's what I said, man.
luckily he's got one of a kind calves, so all you had to do was look at the calves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
big old calves.
You got some
Hey,
crazy legs.
Hey, again, that's the football life, though. Peg.
Yeah.
That's the football. Shao was all about football too,
Yeah.
man. That's the football life right there, man.
Dang,
Wow,
bro.
what, man? I didn't even know that happened.
That's crazy, bro.
No, by the way you guys are playing, no one
I know,
would
right?
ever know that.
Like I said,
Yeah.
it's the family thing, man. That's how we built it. That's how, I guess, that's how we grew up. That's how we trusted each other. Whoever we bring into, I guess, the drifter family, if you want to call it, it's for life.
So let me say this. What if you would never you would have never like saw him or catch him in time, man, would you be able to live with yourself, dude? Like,
But
like,
my volleyball
you know what I mean?
career would have ended in '97 probably.
Yeah.
That would have been it, huh? You'd be
That
like,
would've been
man,
That would have
can't
been it.
believe, man, because he was a very important part of your
Oh,
team.
He's a beast, bro.
Shaw is
Yeah.
the team. I think
Yeah.
I tell you the truth, and I won't speak for everybody else
Mm.
on the Drifter family, but I think they kind of all feel the same.
Mm.
Was when Shaw's timeline in his
Mm.
life was different from ours.
Mm.
He wanted to start a family. You know, he got my fault. I got him involved with golf. You know, because I was the only golfer, right? I
He's
was
a
like,
beast in golf too, y'all.
yeah, he's a beast
Yeah.
in golf, right? I started playing golf, and nobody wanted to play with me. So, you know, Shaw lived in Whitewater. I lived in Madison.
Mhm.
I was like, dude, you know, we worked that second shift stuff. So come in,
Yeah.
play some golf, and I got him hooked. You know,
Mhm.
but anyways, you know, it was like Shaw's timeline in his life was a little different from ours. So once he started distancing volleyball a little bit, where it wasn't like the life anymore.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
You know, he started, you know, wanting to have family, wanted to
Mm.
settle down, started getting more into golf.
Mm.
And then that last year, he played the J4. The last year that Shaw really played with us,
Mhm.
he played the J4 golf tournament instead of the volleyball tournament.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, you knew it was over then, man.
Yeah, and that was the year that Gomain crossed the line.
Oh, the infamous one.
That was the year that brother Gomain crossed the line. And
Shout out to Gomeng, man. Great player, too. Gomeng's a great player.
Yeah.
so
But he's infamous
that was
for
the
that.
year. Yeah, that was the year that we knew that, all right, man, Drifters is over the peak already. We're not
Right.
plateau anymore. We're going down now.
Yeah.
Our descent has started, you know.
I want you to talk a little about, obviously, so your brother Meng played by your side, man, throughout all the years, man.
Yeah.
Talk about that relationship a little bit, dude. Talk about that, you and your brother.
Oh man, the oldest brother too. You know, the oldest brother was the setter in '97. There.
Yes, definitely.
Great setter too. Let me talk to you a little bit about the oldest brother first.
Okay, yeah,
right?
man, he's a great setter, man.
The oldest brother, you know, greatest soccer player I've ever seen in my life. Right? Shit, I could have been living the Kardashian life right now if the parents allowed him to do what he should have done.
Chase his dream.
No,
his
because
talent.
Here's the scoop with my oldest brother in his soccer career, right? We just came over to the United States, right? 78. You know, I think it was like 1983, 82 to 83 high school year. He won state 3 out of the 4 years, right? And state runners up his junior year in D1 soccer in the state of Wisconsin, right? He was state MVP. He still has the plaque. He still has the certificates, the plaques, whatever. 4-year state MVP in high school, right? For NPS school,
exactly.
Division 1, Milwaukee Public School.
Right.
So once he graduated high school, Europe came calling, right? The Euro League came calling for him. My dad and mom was like, no, we just came over to the United States.
Wow.
We're not going overseas. We're never going overseas. You're going to school, man. You're going to your ass to college.
Wow.
He didn't even go on a soccer.
Damn.
He didn't even go on a scholarship or anything.
Damn.
He went to MSOE. He went to Milwaukee School of Engineering.
He went local.
He went local. Got his engineering degree, and that was it.
Damn.
His soccer career ended because he was playing a home tournament in Milwaukee. Other side of the field where the ball wasn't even at, ran into a pothole for his ACL.
Damn.
And that's how his soccer career ended, and then he started playing volleyball.
Wow.
But yeah, he was the for me, the way that Lionel Messi plays is they're about the same size, right?
Wow, yeah.
Lionel Messi and him have the same game.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, like they could just
They could just
see
go
the field.
around people.
Yeah,
It was
they
just
see.
crazy.
Yeah, they see everything that happens before it happens.
Yeah, so that's
And-
the story of my
Yeah.
oldest brother. I mean, like I could have been
Uh-huh.
the Kardashian life,
You
millionaires.
could have been in Europe living it up, man.
Could have been like, yeah, living the life. But here I am, right here.
Man,
But
but
yeah,
he fell into the setting role, man. That guy, man, he was a hell of a setter.
he
Hell of
was
a
a
setter.
strategist, right? He was
Yeah.
like Duhua said, man.
Mhm.
It was like natural instinct as
Yeah.
a setter, right?
Yes.
Strategy
Mhm.
and stuff like that. I mean, he was a thinker. I mean, he
Mhm.
knew who to set, when to set, where to set.
Yeah. His decision making is just
Good
like,
pass. It was like
Yeah.
perfect pass. How come you didn't set me, fool?
mhm.
Nah, over there gave us the point. And I was like, all right, I guess you're right. Over there gave us the point.
He was
You know, I
playing
was like,
chess. He was
he
playing
was.
chess. You guys
And
were
we're
playing checkers
not even checkers, man. We're just playing like
with your hands.
marbles or something, man. We're playing marbles and he was
He
playing
said
chess.
marble.
You
Okay.
know, I mean, like he was overthinking it before it
Mm.
happened. You know, so he was great at that.
Yeah.
My brother May,
Yeah.
the relationship with me and him, so and not until high school,
Mm.
because you know he's a playboy, right? He's
Mhm.
all about the girls and stuff like that. You
Mhm.
know, so he didn't want his little brother tagged along and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So never really got to know him until we started really playing volleyball together until high school.
Mm.
And then
Okay.
once I got to high school, all his girls wanted to be with me instead of him. So I became the playboy, right? So he got a little upset. So it was all good.
It must have just been like a special time, man. Sharing all those moments with you, your brothers, you guys winning together, man. That's like the ultimate dream, dude.
It is, you know, like I said, not getting it knocking through or whatever. I saw this interview with you guys, which was great, man. I mean, I'm just humbled that you guys don't even want to speak with me, man, about this stuff, you know. But yeah, Duhua and them, they had a different plan when they came to play volleyball. Their plan was to take it to, I guess, the extreme level, to the next level and stuff like that. Our plan was to keep it family, keep it real, keep it something that the family could do together and, you know, just love each other, really. I mean, it was all about the family.
So,
Like I said, when
so
we
let's
play games, people,
let's do this. Let's make this into a two-part, and then
Okay.
we'll end this episode, and then next episode we'll come back with all the quick hitters and all that, all the fun stuff.
all right,
Okay.
cool.
So this is CrossCourt. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. This is Leng. Drip is Leng. Man, he's got so much. Come back
part
on the next
2.
episode.
Hey, you guys haven't even talked to me
Yeah.
about my coaching career.
Exactly.
We gonna get there. We gonna get there. But all right, man.
All right,
Peace.
brother.
Next episode.